Okay, so the camera died.
It overheated.
It overheated, so it turned off.
Yeah.
It was like
so we
directly
moved to the shade.
yeah, it was like directly in the sun.
Yeah.
And then I was in the sun. So
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna go back and read you all that because that was really
That was good stuff. What were we talking about though?
Just reading comments is just hard.
Yeah,
in
it
general.
can
You know, like
be. Is it ever life-giving to you to read good comments, or have you gotten to a place where it's like maybe everything affects you less?
I was actually going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because in the comments when people were talking about you and saying like, oh, like the room is dirty or whatever, the cool part is there are people that go to bat for you in the comments, which is really cool. They don't even know you, but they're like, it looks like a room that's lived in. They're like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, like that she's like so willing to do that and be herself. Like, so there are, and don't get me wrong, there's probably like 99 positive comments saying something, and then there's
it's the 1%,
and it's the
so
one
crazy.
and then there's the one comment that
it's so crazy
that
though,
you remember.
It's like, why do you take time out of your life to talk about, like, to talk negative to a stranger?
Yeah, you know, I find it really funny when somebody like comments that they're unfollowing you, or they're like disapproval of a video when like when I don't like a video, and maybe it's because I'm a content creator myself, but I just scroll.
Yeah.
And I go on to the next thing.
Yeah. But what were you going to say? I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying people go to bat?
People, like, the cool part about this is you do build community.
Yeah.
In a way where there are people, like, I know, like, sure, my views are low and most of my comments are like first, second, third, does the king respond, or does the sigma respond, or something. It's all kids, like, you know, and that's on TikTok. You know, when it comes to like YouTube and all this stuff, I get, no offense, but I get higher quality comments, something that I can actually like respond to and want, and like feel like obligated to respond to, or like want to. And I think that there are like there are few people, you know, that I either follow back or they've followed me for a long time that I have like a parasocial relationship with, in that they're gonna watch whatever I put out no matter what. They may not comment every time.
Yeah. But
right?
They're
so supportive. Like if I do a live,
there's like some,
you know, they
certain
pop
ones
in
who
and
pop to mind who are just really, really, really lovely, encouraging, kind.
yeah, like Big Red, you in particular, I will say, have always commented something that was uplifting and that was positive. And I saw in the recent video with Comic-Con that you were like really proud of Katie for like sticking it out.
Actually, I haven't seen that video, so I don't know what that refers to. I gotta watch it. It came out last night.
Yeah, even though you were like really overwhelmed and stuff. And then, you know, like there's like, and Christy has always commented something really cool and has always followed along, and she was like following me from the days of like in the PB Shack.
Yeah.
So when I lived in this like tiny little, you know, granny flat in a backyard, you know, where people like,
what was the kid?
Watch me dance in there. Yeah.
The kid who was in college becoming a teacher?
The one that I met in Florida?
No, he's just like a staunch follower.
Mark.
Oh yeah, Mark.
So Mark has always like, I see when he likes my stuff because I follow him back, but has always been like super supportive, defends Katie, you know, like in a way where he's like, oh my gosh, Katie is amazing, this and that, you know, like we can post something that is like not even that cutesy or demure, and and he's gonna love it, and you know, and there's just
that's like, why do you love it? I was being a hack. Like, it wasn't even that good.
Like, Mark, you're the best, man. Like, thanks, Mark. So there are a few people like that you can like count on, which is really cool.
Yeah.
On the flip side of the negative comments. So now what I try to do is I try to hold on to those. You know, I go back and read those comments, the ones that like are life-giving in a way that's like not just like, oh, this is a fun video. They have been consistent in commenting something really cool or kind or beautiful, you know.
So to summarize, it's like if it's a name you know, you'll let it give you life. But if it's a name you don't know and it is complimentary, does it feel life-giving, or is it kind of like
It feels less so.
Yeah.
Just like when somebody, usually like 99% of the times when somebody is commenting something negative, it's like a bot account anyway. Like their profile is not them. It's anonymous. They have 0 posts.
Yeah.
They're following like 300 people or whatever, and they're just like trolls or whatever. And I'm like, like, and some of it now is AI, which is crazy.
I know.
Which is crazy that like people have designed AI to be like negative.
Yeah.
To like incite something. So, as you know, like I created Mr. McTikTok, and it's like my whole thing. You have your own channel, you're doing your own thing, your Saturday Chronicles. Why did you start that? Because this is something that we've actually talked about. Why did you start that channel, and like why did you become a main character, quote unquote, when you haven't wanted to do that in my videos?
That's a good question. I think number one, I wanted to learn how to edit, and
you're pretty good at that.
I have learned how to edit, not to like.
I can start paying you to edit.
Pat my own shoulder,
actually,
but I
do.
have learned how to edit, which is pretty cool. Number two, is your foot on the brake?
Yeah, my foot was on the brake the whole time. It's in park, and the parking brake's on, but we're on a big hill.
But then you also just decided in that moment to release the foot brake.
Yeah, my foot was getting tired.
What was I saying?
You wanted to edit, and then second.
I wanted to learn how to edit. I love storytelling. I love stories. I love storytelling. I think being in control is a lot more interesting to me. Like being behind the camera is a lot more interesting to me than being in front of the camera and like being your puppet. Like being an actor.
Monkey dance.
Like being an actor is
Pinocchio.
Significantly less interesting to me than being a writer. And so with my own channel, like I'm obviously in charge. So I'm the storyteller, I'm the writer. I'm also the actor, but like that's just like significantly lower on the list of things that I like to do, if you know what I mean. And then thirdly, I would say it's just like when Kevin and I started dating and he wanted me to start being in his videos, probably like a few months into our relationship, and I was just like, absolutely not, like I'm not into it. It was just like he had millions of people following him. Like I don't need that kind of scrutiny. Like I'm, like we mentioned before, like I'm not what's the word that I'm not that normal. I'm just kind of different. I don't know.
Got like,
I don't need that kind of scrutiny.
You got that negative feedback when you were younger, right?
Yeah, like I've always been just a little bit like different socially, or I don't really know how to put it into words, but can you help me? I'm looking to you for help.
You don't want the scrutiny. Like you take that stuff to heart.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you couldn't handle what I go through.
I don't think I could. I think too, my career wasn't really suited to also being on social media. And so anyways, like I think all this time later and our lives have changed so much. It's like, I want these skills, and oh yeah, I could start my own thing and like have a small audience of people who are interested in me and not just like Kevin's fans and haters and people who kind of vaguely watch him because when his videos blow up, and you know what I mean, like all the people who follow him for whatever reason. Like I didn't want all those people. I wanted some people who like liked and supported me and who I had where I had creative control and stuff like that. And I'm talking.
She's like an author. See,
yeah.
I told you talk just as much as me.
Well, but I get embarrassed about when I overtalk, and you just like you start going, and then you're
this is the difference between me and Katie right here. Here's it.
Here's it. Here's it.
So, Katie thinks that everybody hates her, right? And I think that everybody loves me, and if they don't love me,
they're weird.
No. If they don't love me, I'm like, they will. They'll come around. That's the difference between us. And that's why
and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And
doesn't matter. You're my cup of tea.
I'm his cup of tea, sure.
My chai latte.
Yeah, I'm your chai latte. But I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that. And a lot of people aren't my cup of tea. And that's the tea.
But I'm your cup of tea.
But everybody's Kevin's cup of tea, and that's part of it.
Yeah, because I just love people. And
I love people too.
It's just different.
But it's different, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like an introversion thing. I don't know. But anyways, any final thoughts that you have?
Okay, so negative comments suck. I guess it depends on like the season that it's in.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually have a takeaway too. Are you done with yours?
No.
I'm so sorry.
And then positive comments are really cool, but positive comments from like consistent people, like people that have, I don't know, have done it, like have posted over and over and over again, or commented over and over again,
Yeah.
I think are really impactful, and those like actually truly matter to me.
Yeah, it's almost like a reverse parasocial. It's like they parasocialed so hard that you bought in.
That I bought into.
Yeah,
them.
you're like, actually, we are friends.
Like, you're my friend. Like, Mark.
Come to think of it,
Mark, I want to hang out with you, dude.
we're friends.
Come to San Diego. I'll buy you a burrito. Big Red, Christy, like all the people that like are legit, like that I follow back. You know what I mean? Even if they don't make content, like anytime you're in San Diego, we'll buy your burrito, or you know, like we'll hang out. We'll do something. Like Queen of Fam, I missed seeing you in San Diego while you were here, and I wish I got to.
Yeah.
Queen of Fam is another one.
Yeah.
Just OG TikTok.
Yes.
So yeah.
So my added takeaway is for you is that like external validation is nothing unless it's from people you love. Like
the people that really matter, like Katie
it's a
matters.
hard lesson, but yeah.
My
voice matters, like your conscience,
my conscience.
the voice inside of your heart. Your conscience matters. Why can't I say it? Your conscience matters, your wife matters, your husband
like
matters.
the little devil and angel on your shoulders.
And like, you know
like,
what?
clunk.
The rest is just like noise.
It's noise.
And it's like learning to tune out noise. It's hard. We're still learning it, but like that actually is like a great take home.
If you want to get into creating content, you have to be prepared for this. You have to be prepared for negative comments, for them to attack anything they find out about you.
Project onto you.
Oh yeah, they project all sorts of things. And this is my personal experience. Probably won't happen to you, but I had people call my school to try to like get me fired.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing, just because I was like creating content.
Well, it's because it's like you say something, they assume this, their mind spins out, they call the school saying, this guy, like I have to assume you don't know what's going on here, and I have to assume if you did, you wouldn't like it, and I have to assume this is actually the real story, here's the tea, and you gotta fire him. And it's like, where did that come from?
And my principal is like, delete.
Yeah.
Because she knows me. Like my principal, like somebody like her, what she says to me matters.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, hey, get your stuff together. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
you know what
she
I mean?
matters.
Right?
Yeah. But get to your point.
If this is something that you want to do, you have to be prepared for it. It's something that will hit you. Like it takes one viral video, and any video that has more than 100,000 views is going to have negative comments, and you're going to read them because you're going to be so excited. It's like such an awesome feeling. You're reading all these fun comments, and then you get to one and it just tears you down, and it's the one that you think about. You have to, if you're going to create social media content, you cannot look for external validation, just like Katie's saying. And even though I still struggle with it, right? Like I have my faith. I'm a Christian. We're Christians. And that's where our identity is. And it's still a struggle. It's still a struggle, right? Like my identity is a husband. My identity is like a friend and a former teacher, like all of that stuff all wrapped in, but it still is a struggle, and you have to be prepared for that. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Okay, so.
Wow, I'm like, I can see now. I'm so much darker than you. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
See, I'm like blending in.
That's news.
Look, see, look.
Shocking. We didn't know this.